This is the Apocalypse game. Everybody's rolling some dice. 160 Necron Warriors in a big blob, a Manta, the Tau suits, bunch of Tau Imperials defending the palace against Chaos. Apocalypse. That's exactly what I was trying to state. There's nothing like bringing 12 people together, playing 40 to 60,000 points on a giant table, and rolling some dice. So, Apocalypse. It's a style of play where you essentially bring all your toys to a big table and play against other people who bring all their toys as well. It's a great chance to showcase your collection, your hobby skill, as well as to create a cool narrative, story, and event where heroes become heroes by taking down the largest monsters. You know, tiny little infantry units are piddly, but they might win you the game with objectives where titans reign and the entire battlefield is engulfed in flames and fire. So this was a Apocalypse game that I put together at Sir Games Lot, following the climactic end to a 6-week campaign over the city of Vogan. This is an old Cities of Death campaign that Games Workshop had released quite a few years ago. So we had a variety of different players show up for the event. The only stipulation for the size of your force was that, I believe it was 2,000 power level or something like that. Maximum was at 400 power level or something. But your stuff had to be essentially at least tabletop painted with some colors and whatnot. So we set up the table, and one of the key things, if you want to run an Apocalypse game, is to make sure that you have a schedule set in place. You need to be able to coordinate what time deployment starts, what time the first turn is. And I didn't play in the event, but I was a timekeeper / games master. So my role was simple, to make sure every single person was following the time. You know, we had 15 minutes for a movement phase, 15 minutes for shooting phase, 15 minutes for like psychics, and everything was broken down to the minute. I was also, my word was law, so if I needed to bring back a unit from the dead, or teleport a unit randomly, or make a unit disappear, that the players knew what they were getting into. All in all, it was a fantastic, great time. Deployment, shooting, going through everything, and it really led to a really cool day of gaming. So we had about 40,000 points on the table, and the game lasted from 9 AM till about 9 PM. And we got through almost 5 full turns of game. And at the end of the day, the game was only decided by 4 or 5 points, as we were playing an objective-based game. It wasn't about killing stuff. Now, a lot of the times when you play Apocalypse, the people who go first usually wipe out the enemy army. It's pretty standard. So there was a few things that we had put in place to prevent this from happening. On the first turn, first of all, both sides had to keep anything that could deep strike in deep strike reserve to lower the amount of stuff on the table. Secondly, the people that went first, the team that went first, was not allowed to bring in deep strikers on the first turn. The team that went second was allowed to bring in deep strikers on the first turn to offset the casualties taken from the enemy shooting. We also included a double turn mechanic, where the team that went second had 2 turns in succession in order to make up for the incredible amount of firepower that the enemy team had on their first turn. All these little combinations put into play made that this giant game ended up having some really cool thematic stuff happening. You know, Inquisitor Eisenhorn turning on the Tau in the middle of the battle, the brass scorpion of Khorne, you know, blowing up and exploding a variety of different ultramarine tanks. You know, we had the Chaos assaulting the Imperial Palace, and that was their primary objective, and the failure to hold the palace by the Imperial forces led to the defeat of the Imperial side. The Tau had their own agenda. They were trying to essentially capture as much ground as they could. The Grey Knights had a task of wiping out every demon on the table at the exclusion of all other armies or forces, you know, and all in all, you know, the game itself is really fun. So this is a part where I'd love you to share and experience an apocalypse game, something big, something that you just take and you remember with fondness and with kindness, about a time where you just got together with your friends, rolled some dice, and blew some shit up. My name is Skari. I run events for the community, I do videos, battle reports, and if you'd like to like, share, comment, and subscribe, please do. Share the content with everyone. Down below there's the link. A huge shout out to all the Patreons to the channel who help me create more content. You can also become a Patreon and unlock some cool exclusive tactical videos, giveaways, and more. This is Skari, your grateful host, signing off till next time. Skari out. Ah.